Hey guys, what's up? Because there's nothing happening on my end. So, October has left and November has come. So, here is my October wrap up and my November TBR. So, let's start with what I read in October. October was a slow month, but it was a pretty good month, if I'm honest, for being slow. So, first off, I read Girl Online by Zoe Sugg, aka Zoella, which was a very good novel. I really did enjoy it. It was a bit cheesy and a bit really contemporary, but I like the underlying thing of discussing mental illness amongst the YA spectrum, because there was mainly kind of romancy and kind of chick flicky, but there was a definite aspect of dealing with anxiety to it, which I really did honestly like, because you don't really see it that much in YA novels. It's more of a mental illness thing, is kind of something unspoken in most novels for any age range, but I did enjoy it in this because it wasn't like really emphasizing kind of ruining the whole like contemporary lightness of it, but it did kind of bring that kind of darkness into kind of making a point of the book. It did make its mark in the book. It was very good, and this is a story of Penny, who is a blogger under the alias Girl Online. She kind of writes about her life and everything, funny things and, serious things, and then her parents who are wedding planners, end up going to New York for the holidays because they're wedding planners and they had to go plan a wedding in the US. So they went from the UK to the US for a couple of days over the holidays, because she and it also kind of didn't help the fact that right before winter break she had a very embarrassing moment on the day of the play, because her friend was in the play and she was the photographer. So she ended up going up on stage to take a final picture of the whole cast and crew, and then fell in her underwear, shown through the whole planet, and then was put up on YouTube. And so she just needed to get away. She needed to try and see and get everybody to forget about it. And then things happen. She meets a boy, and things happen with that, and that comes with its own set of drama. All while she is dealing with anxiety and panic attacks, which is something really near and dear to my heart, because I do suffer from anxiety and panic attacks. So I know her pain and wanting to just kind of, just not be around people. I know the feeling. So it was a very good book. I did enjoy it quite a lot. I suggest to you, every single one of you, read it. It's a very, very beautiful book. And then I read Cinder by Marissa Meyer, which is a very good novel about a girl who is a cyborg. Her name is Cinder, and being a cyborg kind of leads to its own general knowledge of mechanics. So she is a mechanic, and all of a sudden one day she's at her booth at the market in New Beijing after World War IV obliterated everything. They had to build New Beijing, which is kind of like a modern day New York City kind of thing, but a little bit like post-apocalyptic New York City. She ends up meeting Prince Kai one day at the market when he needs a robot to be fixed, or an android. And so she has to fix it, and then it's kind of got that like Cinderella aspect of it, and it's really interesting. Very, very interesting story, and it was very fast-paced. I read most of it in a night. And the rest of it in little increments over the course of several days. It is very, very fast-paced, and it's very interesting. It's a very interesting concept of taking, like a very simple classic story into a really interesting sci-fi fantasy twist. I really did enjoy that. It's such a great kind of, not retelling though. It's not really a retelling. It's a really good just change of pace for an old, worn-out story. It is really, really good. I suggest all of you guys to go read this. Now to my TBR. So November, I'm kind of running out of books, so I'm going to end up having to reread. So without further ado, here's what I'm reading. I'm already like 3/4 of the way through this book, but this is Wish You Well by David Bedalshi. I butchered his last name. But this is a story of Lou and Oz, who are two young, Lou is 13 and Oz is 8, and they were normal New York City kids in the 1940s until their parents both get in a car crash and their dad dies and their mother is left paralyzed and pretty much in a coma. So they end up living up in the mountains with their father, their great-grandmother, up in the mountains in Virginia, and they have to kind of learn how to adapt, and it's very good at the moment. Like, it just started picking up and getting, a little bit more action like I'm used to, because this is more of a historical contemporary, which is really far out of my comfort zone, but I am exploring more books. And next off is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, which was on my last month's TBR, but then I picked up Wish You Well. So I hope to get to this because I'm almost done with Wish You Well, so once I get done with this, I will be very pleased. But this is a story of Selena, I think it's Selena. This is a story of Selena, and she is an assassin, and she is sent by the king to go kill somebody, but things happen, I think. I'm very, very intrigued by this book, and I'm really excited to read it, to jump on the bandwagon, because it's a very popular book, and I'm very excited to read it. Okay, and then we have a reread, which is Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix. It's been years since I've read the Harry Potter series, so I thought I might as well reread the series. So I'm going to pick up where I left off on my first reread, because I ended up getting caught up in other stuff when I was reading Goblet of Fire, so I'm going to pick up where I left off with Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix. And most of y'all already know what this is about, so I'm not even gonna, but I've already read it, so I'm excited to do a reread. So it's been forever though, so I get to kind of read it with fresh eyes, so I get to kind of, I've forgotten a lot about what happens in the book versus the movie, so I know like basically what's gonna happen because I watch the movies a lot, but I'm excited to reread the book. And that's if I finish Wish You Well and Throne of Glass by the end of the month. But this is definitely next month for Christmas. I'm going to be rereading this. It's so Christmassy. Okay, but yeah, that's what I have for you guys today. So I love you guys so much, and tell me down in the comments below what you're going to be reading, and I love you guys so much, and bye!